Hi everyone. So we are going to start a new chapter, that is electrostats. It's first chapter of your 12th grade and it is important. So basically first let us know what electrostats is. So this is the branch of physics where we deal with the electric effect of static charges. So static charges is important. Basically static means the charges are not going to be performing motion. So no motion of charges. We are not going to we are not going to study about the motion of the charges. We are going to discuss about the static charges. They are going to remain static. Now, if we talk about electric charge, so charge of a material body or particle is the property due to which it produces and experiences electric and magnetic effect. So charge is the one which is going to produce or it is going to experience the electric and magnetic forces. So that is what we mean when we say electric and magnetic effects. So if we talk about the electric charge, some of the natural charged particles which are found in nature are alpha particles, electrons, protons. All these are naturally found charged particles. If we talk about the types of charges, so there are two types of charges. One is positive charge and another is negative charge. If we talk about positive charge, what is positive charge? It is the deficiency of electrons compared to protons. So basically in an object, generally if we talk about atoms, so in any atom the number of proton and number of electrons, they are equal, right? So if some of the electrons they leave, then basically the number of electron becomes lesser. So number of electron will become less than when compared to the number of protons, and hence we will say the object is now positively charged. So we will say that if there is a deficiency of electron, means less number of electrons when compared to proton, then we will say the object is positively charged. Similarly, what is negative charge? It is the excess of electron when compared to proton. So similarly, rather than going out, if electron comes, then the number of electrons is greater than number of protons, and we say that there are excess electrons, and eventually it is the excess electron which makes the object negatively charged. Now let us discuss what are the unit and dimensions of our charge. If we talk about the SI unit of charge is Coulomb, and it is represented by capital C letter. And what about the CGS unit? CGS unit is electrostatic unit or ESU in short. Now if we want to relate these two, then 1 Coulomb is equals to 3 into 10 raised to power 9 ESU of the charge. And what about dimension? Dimensional formula, the charge is not a fundamental quantity. What fundamental quantity is? The current. So we need to relate the charge to the current. And everyone knows that current is nothing but charge upon time. The charge flows through a conductor divided by time, right? So that is what our current is. And what is the unit of current? If I say charge is basically I times T. So this is in ampere and this is in second. So it is ampere times second. And if I want to write the dimension, I'll say there is no mass, no length, time, there is raised to 1. Second is involved. And what about A? A is ampere. Ampere is also fundamental unit and there is A raised to 1. So this is going to be the dimensional formula of the charge. Now let us discuss some properties of the charge. So if we talk about the first property, charge is a scalar quantity. It is not a vector quantity. It is directly a scalar quantity. Next is the charge is transferable. You can transfer the charge from one object to other. You can make another object charged or you can make one object discharged by transferring some charge of it from one object to another. Now, charging of a body implies transfer of charge from one body to another. So, when you are transferring the charge from one body to another, you are basically charging or discharging another or first body. Now, charge is conserved. What is charge is conserved means? Means the total charge, the whole charge. Charge can never be destroyed. Charge can never be created. Basically, charge is found on electrons. Electrons and protons are the original source of charge and these are fundamental particles which cannot be destroyed at all. So charge can be transferred, but it cannot be destroyed, hence it will remain conserved. The total charge will remain conserved, and from there only we can say the total charge within an isolated system is always constant or conserved. It cannot be destroyed. And if we are talking about an isolated system which is isolated from other surroundings, it might transfer the charge from one object of it to another, but the overall charge remains same. If it is the overall charge is, let's say, plus 5 coulomb, then it will always remain plus 5 coulomb. Now if this is plus 5 coulomb and this is 0 coulomb, and when we transfer 1 coulomb from here to here, this will become plus 4 and this will become plus 1. But at the end, the total charge will remain conserved and it will remain plus 5 coulomb. If we talk about the next property, this is an important property, that is quantization of charge. So what does this mean? This means the charge on any body always exists in integral multiple of fundamental unit of electric charge. And what is that fundamental unit of electric charge? The charge on any body can be written as integer times E, and this E is the fundamental unit of electric charge, that is the elementary charge. E is also known as elementary charge, and E is nothing but charge, elementary charge or charge found on an electron. And if we talk about the value of E, the charge on each electron is given by 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. Now, let us discuss this. If this is an object and suppose there are 18 proton and 18 neutron, 18 proton and 18 electron, the number of neutron really does not matter because they are neutral in nature. So we are not going to discuss about the number of neutron. Now, if one electron leaves it, then there will be 18 proton and 17 electron. So charge will be plus E, because charge on each proton is basically plus E and charge on each electron is minus E. So after once one electron leaves it, the total charge remain is 18 times plus E plus 17 times minus E, and that is we are left with plus E charge. That is charge which is equivalent to one proton is excess charge, and this is now positively charged object. So now it can be 1. If 2 electron leaves, it will be plus 2E. Similarly, when 1 electron comes to it, the charge on the body is going to be minus E, and when 2 electron comes, it is going to be minus 2E. So as you can see, charge can be plus E, can be plus 2E, can be plus 3E, or it can be 0 initially. If it is we are talking about a neutral object, it can be minus E, minus 2E. So charge on the object is always integer multiple of E, and that's why we write the charge on any object can be written as plus minus NE. N is the integer, or you can write just charge is an integral multiple of elementary charge or charge on each electron. Let us do a question regarding that. So there is a question which says, which of the following charge cannot be possible? Which of these 4 charges is not possible at all? Or as you can see, all the charges are positive. So it means the electrons are leaving the object. If we discuss the first case is the charge of a single proton. So that is possible when, because this is 1 times E. So this charge is definitely possible. Second charge is 10 times E, because E is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19. When you multiply with 10, you get 10 raised to power minus 18. And what about the last charge? I say this is NE, then what will be N? N will be 1 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19, which is nothing but 10 raised to power plus 19 divided by 1.6, and this is also an integer number. But what about the case number 3? This means this is nothing but 0.1 times E. That is, this is E divided by 10, right? So what does this mean? To achieve this charge, 0.1 electron has to leave the atom, which is not even possible, right? So this is not possible. Here in case number 1, 2 and 4, the total charge on an object is integral multiple of E, while in case number 3, this is not an integer. Hence we will say this is the charge which is not possible for an object to have on it. Let us discuss the properties of charge. We'll continue. So next property is charge is always associated with mass. What does that mean? That means that charge cannot exist without mass, but mass can exist without charge. So if we talk about like neutrons, so all the neutrons, they are neutral in nature, but they have some mass, right? But if you want to have charge, that object or the particle, fundamental particle, whatever is that particle or object which is having some charge will definitely have the mass. So mass can be neutral or charged, but charge is always with some mass. So we can say the alone charge cannot exist. Next property is charge is relativistically invariant. What does that mean? Relativistically invariant implies that the charge is independent from the frame of reference. Basically, whether you observe from an inertial frame, that is acceleration is equal to 0, the observer is over here, or whether you observe from a non-inertial frame, that is the frame is moving with some acceleration. From both the frame of references, our charge, if you are observing some charge, then that charge will have same amount. The magnitude of charge is not going to change whether you look from this frame or this frame. That's what it means to be relativistically invariant. Next property is like point charges repel each other while unlike point charges attract each other. So if there are two positive point charges, they are going to repel each other. What will be the magnitude of this force with which they repel each other? We'll learn in Coulomb's law, which we are going to study later. If there are two negative charges, then they are also going to repel each other. And if one is positive charge and the other is negative charge, then rather than repelling, they attract each other. So let us discuss this in further. So an accelerated charge, if the charge is static, it does not radiate any energy. But if charge is getting accelerated, then it always emits the electromagnetic waves. So this topic we are going to discuss in another chapter, which is electromagnetic waves. Now, how can you make an object charge? So there are methods of charging. So if we talk about how many types of method of charging, there are three types of methods with which we can charge an object. First is charging by friction, second is by conduction, and third is by induction. Let us discuss them one by one. The first is charging by friction. So whenever you rub a neutral body against another neutral body, there is a transfer of electrons. So the one body which is giving out the electrons becomes positive, giving out the electrons to another body becomes positively charged, while the other body which is gaining the electrons, so the body which gains the electron becomes negatively charged because there are excess electrons, and the body which gives out the electron becomes negatively charged. Now this is a case where we are rubbing two insulator objects, and now one is the cloth and another is a glass rod. So here, as you can see, some of the electrons are moving from rod to the cloth. So here we will have an excess of charge. So this will become negatively charged, and some of the electrons are left leaving this rod. So this is becoming positively charged. The next method is the charging by conduction. So conduction happens when two conductors, or at least one charge, when there are two conductors, at least one of which is charged. When they are brought in contact, the flow of charge takes place from one to another until both are at the same potential. So this is a neutral object. I have this piece of conductor which is negatively charged. When you put them in contact, so when this is when this is negatively charged, there is an excess of electron. Some of these excess electron will leave and go to the other object and will make that also negatively charged. So we can say that the charges which are produced are similar in nature. We brought the negative charge, and the charge which the neutral object gained after conduction is also negative. So some of the original charge is only transferred. So they are similar in nature. Next is the charging by induction. So every charged particle attracts another particle having opposite charge. So two opposite charge attract each other. We had already discussed. This method can be utilized for charging conducting as well as non-conducting bodies. How to do that? First, let us say this is a neutral object. It does not have any charge at all. So there is equal amount of positive and negative charge. When I bring this another charge object in I'm not keeping it in contact, I'm just keeping it near the uncharged or neutral object. When that happens, there is a distribution of charge which is taking place over here. So when this is positive, so all this negative charge gets attracted due to this positive charge and comes close to this surface. When that happens, what we do is the second process is do the earthing of the other way around. So here this part I am connecting to the earth, or I am connecting it to the ground. When you do the earthing, what happens is this region is positively charged, and when that earthing takes place, what happens is that part becomes neutral. So here there was a deficiency of electron, and these excess electrons, some of the electrons comes from the ground and make this part neutral. But these electrons, they are still attracted, so they remains there. And now you remove the earthing. As soon as you remove the earthing, these electrons are still attracted, and this becomes overall, this is negatively charged now. Now as soon as you remove this one also, these charges get redistributed throughout the body, and now you get a negatively charged body. So initially this body was neutral, and now it is negatively charged. Here the benefit is when compared to conduction. So benefit is the originally charged body is not getting affected at all. This is as it is, and this charge is not going to be destroyed or not going to be affected.